Carlie Irsay-Gordon, the daughter of Jim Irsay, and now the owner. She inherited the team, she and her sisters. She's the new CEO of the Indianapolis Colts. And I was reading about this earlier, and it caught my attention because it's unusual, it's unorthodox, and those are always fun stories to talk about. So it turns out she regularly in recent years has been on the sidelines wearing a coach's headset, and she's had a call sheet, the play sheet, in her hand, and she's been monitoring the coaching staff in Indianapolis. She was asked about this, and she said in a recent interview, she said, I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS, which I believe is bullshoy. Quote continues, do they even know what they are talking about? She went on to say, I would suggest it for anyone else that has to pay head coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make a less expensive mistake. All right, quote continues with a, but wait, there's more situation. She said it is such a complex organism, a football team, and how it operates. You could say that person ran the route wrong, someone tagged the wrong receiver, and it wasn't really the player's fault. It was the person that called it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so let us discuss. Question. As we just laid out here, Carlie Irsay-Gordon, the Colts' new owner, has a habit of going on the sidelines, wearing the coach's headset, having the call sheet, and I guess she's going to call the 2-minute drill. And she says it helps her figure out if people she hired are full of bullcrap. Is this forward thinking or is this overthinking? Now, is it forward thinking or is it overthinking? So my take on this, I've got DVD box set, Charles Dickens, and loofah. And these things have never, ever been combined together, but they will be right now. And we're going to put them together and have some baba ganoush. We're going to have the baba ganoush with a big pile of gabagool. And then we'll have a pink glazed donut, Homer Simpson style, when we're done with that. So to lead off here, after a thorough Maller Show deliberation, these scales are leaning heavily towards overthinking. And I would argue that every man, woman, and child knows that this is not just overthinking. This is micromanaging. It's next level micromanaging. Does anyone disagree with that? Like, what are we doing here, right? This is the fastest way to drain talent, is losing trust in the talent. Like, anyone that's ever worked in a company knows this. A great boss, a great leader, they hire the right people, they put strong people in jobs, and then they get the hell out of the way and they let them do their thing. And you obviously have to evaluate their performance. You don't have to be on the sidelines wearing a headset and have a call sheet while you're doing it. Like standing on the sidelines with a headset and monitoring what is going on is micromanaging to the clown show level. It's a DVD box set of my new video series, Owners Gone Wild. That's right, Owners Gone Wild in their natural habitat. Now, nobody needs a boss, in this case an owner, second-guessing the coach in real time. You know what that is? Disaster with a capital D. Disaster waiting to happen. If your head coach is bad, if your head coach is terrible, you should not need a headset to confirm the coach doesn't know what they're doing. Use your own eyes. Use your own horse sense. The sideline shuffle, in my analysis, is a waste of time. And I'll tell you why it's a waste of time. It is a psychological phenomena. The phenomena is known as observer effect. Look it up. Look it up. Observer effect. People adjust their behavior. We all do, subconsciously, sometimes consciously, but often not even thinking about it, we adjust the way we act when we know that we're being watched. It's like you put up security cameras, not that you're monitoring them, but just the camera, having the camera, people act differently. It happens everywhere, right? It's been proven, study after study. Employees, you change your demeanor when the boss walks in, right? When the boss is around, everyone, you perk up a little bit, you put your phone down, get a little more work done. Even when there's casual conversations, it's been described as performative when the boss is there, right? When you sense there's an audience who's monitoring what you're doing. And again, this is stuff that happens because it ties into self-awareness, social conditioning. They even claim in some of the studies that were done on this, it's evolutionary, survival instincts that you adapt because of that. And so anyway, the point is, if you're the Colts owner and you're on the sidelines, the head coach is going to know before the game and is going to let everyone know, hey, boys, the owner is listening in. The owner, so you might just, I'll let you know, and they're going to act different. They're not going to curse as much maybe, or they're going to speak differently than they normally would because they're being monitored. It's the observer effect. Now, furthermore, to La La Land we go, where we have Sean McVay, who said the thing you can't say at the time you can say it. Did you see this? No? All right. So Sean McVay has affirmed that the LA Rams would have put the full bull rush on Aaron Rodgers had they ended up losing Matthew Stafford. Now, you might remember one of the big stories of the offseason here, the Rams allowed Matthew Stafford to schmooze. He was unhappy with his contract, so the Rams allowed Stafford to go to Montana, hang out with Tom Brady, and Brady tried to convince him to come to the Raiders, and once Stafford met with Tom Brady, said, screw that, I ain't going there. And there were other teams that were involved. The Giants were involved, and also the Pittsburgh Steelers. They talked to Stafford. And it turns out a trade did not happen. Obviously, he agreed to a revised contract, so Stafford is still ramming it all day, ramming it all night. Here's the question, though. Sean McVay confirming that Aaron Rodgers to the Rams was a legitimate possibility. Is this anything? I mean, is there a takeaway from this? Is there anything to take away from this that McVay confirmed they were on the prowl for Aaron Rodgers? So I am nodding my head yes. And this confirms, if you go back and listen to those old monologues that we did, this confirms our boots on the ground are spot on. They say in the tabloid world, the naked city never sleeps. And we were informed by a source that Rodgers actually wanted to play for the Rams. Logistically, it would have been perfect. Now, at the time, we didn't know he had gotten married, but it makes even more sense, right? He lives in Malibu. I assume he's living with his wife. Normally, you're married, you live with your wife. And so Rodgers wanted the Rams because logistically it would have worked and all that stuff. And he let them know, and they let him know there was mutual interest, and through back channels and all that stuff. And had Stafford skedaddled, next man up. So the other takeaway, this is also a Charles Dickens classic, The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. Because Sean McVay, you might say, well, this is benign, it didn't happen, so who cares? I disagree. Because McVay confirmed that when Matthew Stafford's time is done as the Rams quarterback, they're going to play quarterback bingo. They're going to have a revolving door of veteran stopgap quarterbacks with the Rams. That is the way they're going to play it. And they don't have anyone who's in the pipeline that they think is going to be the next big thing. So that is the way they're going to approach this. So that is interesting. Right? They're like, all right, well, next year will likely not be Aaron Rodgers. Who's it going to be? Kirk Cousins, someone like that, some reject, Jameis Winston, who's bounced around. All right, now, last thing. So Saquon Barkley was the Eagles' one-man wrecking ball on the field, and he was the merch man off the field. He led all NFL players in merchandise sales. So what does that tell us? What does that tell us? So it tells us that Barkley wasn't just tearing up defensive players in the NFC East. He was tearing up fans' wallets. We're talking all kinds of apparel, the jerseys, the bobbleheads, the keychains, the koozies, you name it. And this guy sold it. He was number one in the entire NFL. Number one. Now, Saquon, not just carrying the rock. I guess if you're the people over at Fanatics, he's carrying your first quarter earnings report as well. The other thing here, what a shot to Jalen Hurts. How embarrassing is that you're the quarterback, it's a quarterback league, you're Jalen Hurts, and you are not the center of the universe. Like, you got to be ticked off, right? New guy shows up, coming down I-95, new guy shows up, 1 year, he's outselling you. That's your city. You're Jalen Hurts. Now, he's not going to publicly admit that, however. It's humiliating. It's got to be humiliating. Got to be. Losing the popularity contest. All right, now, the fan base foaming at the mouth in the Delaware Valley. Eagle fans, they are voting. Not with their mouth, not with anything other than their credit cards. Barkley, the first running back since Zeke Elliott, way back in 2017, I was barely alive back then, to top NFL merch rankings. So he's right there at the top. Now, this is a reminder that the Philly fan is a different fan. Complete lunatics. And I am convinced if you would be able to slap the Eagle logo on a midnight green loofah and put Barkley's number on there and tell some story about how every time Barkley takes a shower, that's his go-to loofah, and charge $50 for it, you'd sell out. Right? You'd sell out. And people are just eating it up like it's a buffet of hype and delusion and overpriced polyester and all that stuff. People love it. Love it, love it, love it. Cannot get enough of it.